It's showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
A fine Saturday matinee to you all. I'm here, Pete Wright, and I'm here with Mandy Kaplan. Hello, Mandy.
Hello, Pete.
And Steve Sarmento is also present.
Good morning, Mr. Wright.
It's a red letter day, both of you. It is a red letter day for this fair show. This fair show where we, the Next Reel team, come together and talk about news and trailers and all our weekly challenges and lists and games and things. Red letter day, I tell you, because this day marks episode 200 of the Saturday Matinée. 200 times we've done this thing.
Do you have a slight Irish accent all of a sudden?
That always happens. It happens every Saturday matinee. It's him or Andy. There's always Irishness.
Red letter and Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday.
Yeah, no, it does.
Okay.
It should be a red. Shouldn't it be a red number day, not a red letter day?
I'm not allowed to go to restaurants that are anything other than like straight American food because there's a chance I'll fade in
offend everybody.
Offend a truly offensive accent. I can't help it. I don't know. Genetics.
Wow.
Yeah, that happens. 200. What do you think about that? 200 episodes of this ridiculous show.
Incredible.
That's what, almost 4
That's
years?
fun.
4 years of this nonsense every week?
Yeah.
Nonsense. This is the most important thing I do. This is life-changing material.
That's right. This is good stuff. This is such good stuff. And it is the time for us to talk a little bit about what we're watching. What do you guys got going on your viewing lives? Now, Mandy, I know you just came in hot. You're up. Your ire is up right now about something, which indicates maybe you don't have time to watch anything right now.
Not true. We are watching a bunch of stuff. Only Murders in the Building, but that's been discussed.
It has been discussed, but can I just tell you, I only just discovered it this week, and I love it so much.
Oh, we love it. That was like a
Sting.
couldn't wait.
Sting.
Oh, Steve.
What's
with the snarky smile?
No, it's just Martin Short is just a
I heard you say that last week, and I meant to be mad at you. Can we start over?
Sure.
Me too.
You can be really mad at me for I enjoy Martin Short in small amounts.
He is a national treasure, and you're wrong.
Yeah,
I'm
on Team Mandy.
I bartended a party for him once. He was so kind and generous and lovely and treated everybody that was working the party like family. He was incredible. I've met him several other times. Steve, you're wrong.
Did he say, Mandy, you're the fourth amigo?
I'm sure he is a wonderful human being. His persona is just at 12 all the time, and I just can't take it sometimes.
Well, so is mine.
It goes back to the SNL days. There were some things I just was like, he's too much for me. I love Steve Martin.
Very strong swimmer.
Yeah, that is a classic.
I know you. I know you.
You.
Yeah. No, you're not mad at him.
You're just pointing. Yes.
I think that it is fantastic. Selena Gomez is amazing. I was worried a little bit that with both of those men at their respective levels that she would not be able. She's perfect. She's perfect. And she's got this real small mouth thing going on that she's doing. Do you notice that? She just doesn't move her jaws at all. And it makes her very severe. And I'm here for it. I'm quite a fan.
Okay.
It's called acting.
I've never seen her in anything else, so I don't know if it's acting. I'm a little concerned that she's heavily medicated and
dig into the Disney Channel archives. She was on what was the Disney show?
Wizards of Waverly Place.
There you go. Yeah. Check it out.
Yeah, settled science. All right, what else are you watching? Because we've talked about that.
Well, we just started Ted Lasso, and we watched the first morning show last night.
You just started Ted Lasso?
The second season.
Oh,
we waited so that we could inhale it all.
Exactly.
So we're in a good place here.
Let me just say this because I want to head off any potential controversy. You have seen the Star Wars movies, right? Star Wars: A New Hope, then The Empire Strikes Back, and then Return of the Jedi. There's three of them.
Those three. And I saw those three.
Okay.
Those are
this season of Ted Lasso is The Empire Strikes Back. Okay? Are you with me? It's The Empire Strikes Back. And I have that from Jason Sudeikis himself. Okay. Not that he was over here, but I saw an interview and he said, what's going on with this season? He says, well, it's The Empire Strikes Back. You got to go into your cave and meet your little green man. And it doesn't always feel good. So that's what this season is.
Okay.
And I've had to confront that. It makes
Next season, Leo will be in the gold bikini and we'll be okay.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. There will be gold
Pizza the Hut.
No, it'll be Jamie Tart running around in a gold Speedo is what we'll probably get in the third season.
Okay, I'll take that too.
Yeah.
Speaking of international treasure, Brett Goldstein, fantastic. Okay.
Oh,
So
yes.
talented.
So much good stuff coming out of that show.
Okay.
Steve, what do you got going on?
What have I finished up Shadow and Bone, which was all right. It had its ups and downs and lulls. My wife read the books and said, this is nothing like that. They completely reconceived this whole thing. And it's, that YA fantasy thing. And it was all right. But we're trekking through. So actually got sucked into my trash TV. So we started, I may have mentioned this on the show before, because we did start Below Decks Mediterranean because season 2, they were in Croatia. And we were like, that's where we were last year. So then we got sucked in. We're now in season 6. They're back in Croatia.
He is doing the, I don't know what Below Deck face is. And that's
what this face is.
So they're in Croatia.
Don't pretend.
Who are they and what are they doing?
So it's...
honest to God, I don't know what you're talking about.
Garbage.
It is complete entertaining garbage. So it's a reality show where they follow the crew of a chartered boat, and they're in different, parts of, the Mediterranean. And basically you get to see them deal with crazy guests and all the interpersonal drama of being in confined quarters on a boat with people that you don't get along with all the time. So it's just that, binge-worthy trash TV, but you get beautiful scenery. They're going to go on an excursion. You get to see all these wonderful places to go visit if you're ever out there. And they've got some great personalities on the show. So it's our mindless and, late night. We're done. Can't think about anything. Don't want to. Put it on and just...
This judgment, Steve, is coming from a person who watches The Housewives.
Oh.
Which are better than Below Deck. Yes.
It's all garbage. It is all garbage.
It is. It's all garbage.
It is all garbage. And then what else have I got, to counteract that, to balance that out? We are just... we took a hiatus for a while, and we're getting going on Umbrella Academy season 2 for that. And I just watched, Netflix dropped yesterday their little trailer of what's coming next month in October. So I'm very excited for Lock and Key season 2. So I figured if by the time I finish Umbrella Academy, I'll be set for season 2 of Lock and Key, and I'll get that. And didn't see anything about Stranger Things. So I don't know if that is ever going to materialize from Netflix, but...
Yeah, I was just reading a piece. It was a criticism of Evan Hansen, the movie, because the reviews are starting to come out, the people who've seen it, and they're saying, I wasn't bothered by this in the trailer, but seeing the movie, Ben Platt really is like 30 years old, and they did not up age any of the high school students. They're all like 18 to 20, and you can tell.
Oh, wow.
So I too was not bothered by it in the trailer, but it makes me a little bit leery that is potentially an issue. And Stranger Things was also dropped in the same piece as a major criticism that these kids who the scope of the show is so much shorter than the scale of their actual production lives, and they're now grown-up people. And,
Stranger Things, the college years.
Yes, right.
That's what we need to
adapt.
do. Yes,
yeah,
we do.
Yeah, for sure.
I have an in with Professor Lasky.
All right.
Outstanding. Hey, I got to tell you something that became important to me this week. We watched the last season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Are you Brooklyn Nine-Nine fans? Either of you? Do you care?
My husband
seen
Jared
a few episodes.
Yeah, it makes me laugh sometimes. It's a harmless one, but I don't make
it. It is a harmless one, but let me tell you, the last season it was an abbreviated season. They didn't get a full run, but I think it goes down for us as one of the really good ways to wrap up a sitcom. They just nailed it. It was full of heart. It was full of nostalgia, but just the right kind of nostalgia. And my son and I at the end, we looked at each other and we were both kind of a little bit weepy. I mean, it was you feel like I'm going to miss these people, and it was handled just perfectly. So if you have been a Brooklyn Nine-Nine fan, they've had a crazy schedule, especially with COVID. Like there's very long breaks between seasons. Season 8 dropped. It's a quick watch, and I think they did it really well. It's a different season because they came back intentionally ready to deal with things specifically like police violence and police reform. And that's hard to do in a 20-minute situational. And so I think they did it well. It feels heavy-handed. Like the first couple of episodes feel really like notably different and weighty. But by the time you get to the end, you realize that they have an arc, and they were still able to give, just enough levity to a very serious subject through, name of your first sex tape jokes that still play, like things that really work. And so.
And then at the end, did Andy Samberg wake up and it was all a dream?
Thank God he did not.
No, he woke up and he was in a snow globe. It all took place in a snow globe. But now, Pete, is this they actually finished the show, or is this it got canceled and then in 2 years we're going to see it showing up on Netflix again, because Netflix seems to be the place that is scooping up,
buying up old stuff,
and then apparently doing a pretty decent job with some of them.
I would have a hard time believing that. I think it feels done. The cast is broken up. The crew of the 9-9, like the staff they've gone in different directions, and all of those directions feel good and feel right. And so new captain, new team, great way to end it. So that's it. 9-9. Right. 9-9. That's it. All right. Should we do trailers?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're all in agreement. Steve, you came in with an A24. I picked my trailer like 6 weeks ago.
I know.
And you scooped me with an A24.
Well, that's what you get when you don't wait to see what A24 is going to drop. And then
well played.
And I know if Andy were here, he'd be like, well, technically it's a teaser. It's not really a trailer. And I'd be like,
yes. Do you hear the ghost of Andy?
I do hear the ghost of Andy. But I will say on YouTube, Apple TV Plus and A24 both listed as The Tragedy of Macbeth official trailer. It isn't labeled as teaser. It is labeled as trailer.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
What I found, the one reason I did want to pick this is the first film that is solely Joel Cohen. Ethan is not involved in this production. He's off doing things on stage. And so this is the first time Joel's done this on his own. And the question is, are they ever going to work together again? Is this just a one-time thing? Nobody knows. But we will see what Joel can do, bringing Shakespeare to the screen, black and white in all its glory, with an amazing cast. And it comes just in time for Christmas. So what more could you ask for? Shakespeare, Denzel Washington, Frances McDormand, everything. It was a gorgeous trailer. I'm hoping this is all they do, because honestly, you don't need a full trailer. Everybody knows the story of Macbeth. I didn't need more than what I got in this little teaser to just give me, to whet my appetite for just this amazing visual spectacle that Joel is going to bring to us.
God, it's just beautiful. I mean, I find it mesmerizing. And come on, Denzel, yes. I'll take it. And
now it is listed as written by Joel Cohen. Did we find that strange? Wasn't it written by William Shakespeare?
So I guess you get whatever adaptations he's going to do, because the runtime is only an hour 45. So clearly it's not the full thing.
Perfect.
So, you've got to, excise some of the fat out of Shakespeare, I guess.
It's like the sports center of Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yes.
Exactly. That is right. My speed. I got to tell you.
You're not a Shakespeare person.
I am. I mean, I've done a ton of it. Because I'm a classy
as
actress.
You do. You're so classy.
And I am a Shakespeare person, but I'm not a 3+ hour Shakespeare person.
Yeah,
so
I mean, there's
it'll
limits.
be nice to, keep it moving.
Exactly.
Having just watched Safe House last week with Ryan Reynolds and Denzel. Denzel is just really punching below his weight class there in that movie. But it was really fun. But it's like, and I think he's on the record after Beale Street of saying, like, I do these kinds of movies, Safe House movies, so that I can make Macbeth,
Right.
so that I
Yes.
can make, do these other kinds of movies. And so these are the ones that I'm most interested just to see, like, if these are really your pleasure picks, like, let's see how you do.
Exactly.
So I love it.
Yes.
Big fan. I've got, I bring a Guillermo del Toro directed feature, and it looks pretty great, mostly because Bradley Cooper's in it, and he and I are best friends who have never met. I bring you Nightmare Alley.
Step right up and behold one of the unexplained mysteries of the universe. Is he man or beast? This creature has been examined by the foremost scientists and pronounced unequivocally a man. I am prepared to offer you folks one last chance to witness this supreme oddity. Where did it come from? Begotten by the same lust and threat that got us all walking on this earth, but gone wrong somehow in maternal womb. Not fit for living.
You had me at Nightmare Circus. I think it looks terrific. It is the story of an ambitious carny with a talent for manipulating people and a few well-chosen words. He hooks up with a female psychiatrist who's even more dangerous than he is. That's what IMDb says. What I say is, my goodness, Rooney Mara and Paul Anderson and Cate Blanchett and Willem Dafoe and Mary Steenburgen, Toni Collette, Ron Perlman, the original Carney, David Strathairn, Holt McElhaney, Tim Blake Nelson. Come on, it practically is a Coen Brothers movie. It looks I love the setting of it. I think it looks terrific. And Guillermo del Toro shares screen credit with William Lindsay, who wrote the novel on which it is based, and Kim Morgan. And I'm kind of here for it. What do you guys think?
I'm all in for this because I love Del Toro's work, but I feel like he has trouble distancing himself from his own scripts. So the fact that he's working from either the novel, I don't know if he's using any of the material from the 1947 film, or if he's just going straight back to the novel for this, but that gives me great hope in the fact that he can focus on what is the material that is there and bringing that to the screen with just the skills and talent he has in creating just the most gorgeous things and the most, I don't want to say creepy, weird, strange, freakish. I don't know what the right adjective is, but there's just a mood about this one that harkens back to like the early like Universal monster movies, which I know he holds close to his heart. There were so many moments there because I had just recently watched the original The Wolfman, and it's those movies are so short and tight and just economy. And I looked at this and I feel like he's taken the heart of those old classic monster movies and just brought them to life in color. And I'm thrilled to see this cast. I'd been wondering what Bradley Cooper had been up to. The last thing I saw him in was that, Star is Born thing, which feels like that was like 5 years ago. So I was really excited to see him in this. I know he's been doing Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, but I'm excited to see him on screen again with the rest of this cast. I just hope that I can get out to a theater to see it because of COVID. That's one that I feel like the luxurious look of this film, I would like to see on a big screen.
I saw this movie already when it was called The Shape of Water. And it looks exactly the same. And Guillermo needs to change up his aesthetic. It looked exactly the same. And then Richard Jenkins was in the trailer, and I was like, and there it is.
There it
The
is.
Shape of Water. Now, I love The Shape of Water. I've seen it several times. I love that movie. This one, I think my criticism is of the trailer, not necessarily the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't quite tell what the movie was. There's no dialogue. There's like just a weird laugh from Cate Blanchett. I wanted to get a better sense. It just felt like spliced moments all jumbled together with a beautiful backdrop. And I wanted to care just about someone or something.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a really interesting comment. And I wonder
Pete.
how much they are counting on that sense of like 1947 nostalgia, like to kind of entice you that this is a property that exists. I kind of share your feeling there. Like this feels like more of an homage trailer to something else than necessarily a storytelling trailer of its own. I don't know. Have either of you seen the original,
No.
Golding film? Tyrone Power played the character that I've already forgotten his name.
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper's
your
going to be
best friend.
playing. Yeah, my best friend that I've never met yet. I'll send him a card. And so, I think it'll be interesting to see kind of what comes of it. But I think that's a good trailer criticism, and gross. I still think it looks really, really good, just because it's beautiful.
I also found it to be a very white cast. Did I see any people of color or any diversity amongst the many, many, many people we saw?
Where's Ron Perlman from? Like, there's questions.
Well, I don't know. You've got the bearded lady, the dog boy, or whatever you've got in there. I mean, there's your diversity.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah,
in this
no,
day and age.
don't look at the cast list.
I shan't.
that will confirm exactly
Yes.
what you're thinking. So, all right. Well, that's Nightmare Alley. It's coming 2021, it says, and so that means in the US, 17 December, wide release. But everybody else, except for Argentina and Slovakia, which get a December 2nd release, go Argentina and Slovakia. Everybody else gets it after the new year in January. So that's what I got.
Well, you know what film has diversity? Right?
Yes.
Can I just sing?
Do you
Instead
want to
of
sing
talking
your
about the
entire
trailer,
discussion?
Can I just?
Sure.
I want to be in America. I chose Steven Spielberg's long anticipated West Side Story remake.
Tonight, the world is full of light. This is my first time in New York City. I want to be happy here. I want to make a life, a home.
Are you ready? Tonight is about family. The first gringo boy who smiles at you.
I never seen you before. I'm not Puerto Rican.
Is that okay?
Do you want to start World War III?
It looks good, but I am such a loyal lover of the original that I feel like, why? The original holds up to perfection, and there really didn't seem to be a reason to do this other than to cast people of the correct ethnicities, which I'm all for, because the last one had George Chakiris and, heavy makeup and, maybe not the most politically correct Natalie Wood, etc. But I will see it because it's a musical and it's colorful and it's splashy, and I'm all about musicals, but I don't have high hopes. Do you guys?
Wow.
I'm right there with you. Because I agree. It's like a gorgeous reconstruction of the original. And I thought, okay, what is your draw? Because if you're trying to bring this to a younger audience, okay, so, all right, you've got your cast and you've got your Ansel Elgort. Okay, that'll bring in the teens or whatever. But then it's still set in the 60s, something that is, for most of them, generations ago. Are they going to relate to this? Why not update the setting? If we're going to tackle these issues of race, why not put it in a current contemporary context? Can we adapt this to that? No, we'll stick it in the nostalgia, filled era that Spielberg wants it in. And I think, exactly, then why? Because the original stands up so well. And I think you could grab any teenager that loves musicals, sit them down with the original, and they're going to be enthralled with it. And I think Spielberg set himself up on a huge challenge of how do you do better than that? I don't know that you can. It's going to be too easy for people to pick this one apart because it's just not necessary.
It's a movie about Klieg lights and lens flare. And occasionally there are actors that come in and out of the frame. It is so...
Look who's showing off his terms.
It's so over the top Steven Spielberg. It's like he read a review lauding all of the Spielberg visual tropes and said, well, if they like that, I can give them that.
There's a girl in a red coat wandering around.
Right. I think I might be...
Schindler's List joke. Yes.
I feel like, I don't know, I might be a little bit more optimistic about the experience of the movie because he is an exceptionally competent filmmaker and I love the music. But I'm absolutely with you. The thing that I think I fear most for this movie is that it's actually a really well done movie that no one cares about, right? That no one picks it apart because they won't bother with it. And that I think is maybe a worse fear than having people actually see it and criticize it. I think the timing is rough. I think the pandemic did some terrible things for delays. I think I worry that it's gonna suffer from 1,000 paper cuts. So it certainly has some brilliant source material to work with, and that ain't nothing.
Well, I want to be on that film board if there is one. Promise me now.
Oh, sure.
Right. When is it coming?
I think December. And I'm assuming
I think it's a
December 10th.
Christmassy time. Okay.
Yeah. December 10th. It hits the US, but it does start opening December 8th in France. It's that big weekend. 8th through the 16th is what we have so far. All right. Let's play a game.
Games.
I, as the only host of the Saturday Matinee who wields such editing power that he has in the past cut an entire game segment because he brought a game that was too tragic, I introduce a new game for you both.
Okay.
It's called Name That Crew. Name That Crew. We started talking about shows that have gone over 200 episodes. And it turns out there are a lot of them. It does not take very long in terms of just straight years to hit 200 episodes and then cruise right by it. So I started thinking, what are some of the most popular shows that might have been in our collective history, and see how much we remember by doing a speed round of Name That Crew. Let's start with something like Happy Days. Happy Days ran from 1974 to 1984 on the ABC television network. It has 250 episodes. In this game, I might say, Steve, how many characters or actors can you name from Happy Days, principal cast of Happy Days?
Oh,
and you might say,
5.
I don't know how many I can do. All right. How many people, Steve, do you think you could name from the principal cast of Happy Days?
Oh,
and I'm giving you both character or actor in case you can't remember their name, but you can remember who played them.
Yeah, I'm probably going to say 6.
6. All right. Mandy, can you beat 6?
9.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I don't.
What do you say to me, Steve? What do you say?
I say, name that crew.
Name that crew.
All right.
Okay. Henry Winkler.
Yes.
Ron Howard.
Yes.
Marion Ross.
Wow.
Tom Bosley.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Aaron Moran.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Donnie Most.
Mm-hmm.
Anson Williams.
Okay.
Pat Morita.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Scott Baio.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Baio. I can't.
And then eventually Ted McGinley, which, as we know.
No, we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
I can't believe how ably you handled that show. This was supposed to be our demo run, and you named every performer.
Yeah.
That was extraordinary.
Thank you.
Steve, I don't know
Steve
what.
just wet his pants.
Yeah, he's like, I thought, oh, she'll switch back between cast and character names. No, because I know what she's doing in the back of her mind. She's like, Sunday, Monday, Happy Day, and just looking at the names coming up on the screen as the credits play back in her head.
Outstanding. So that is how the game works, and I'm so excited.
No, she gets a point for that.
Get a point.
She totally
gets only that, you get 9 points.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. From Boston. All right.
Okay. Steve.
Yes.
Wait, no, I'm going to go. Actually, I think Mandy gets to start the bidding because she won
yeah.
this next one. This is outstanding. This is a show that has run quite a bit longer, and in fact is still running. It started in 1989 on the Fox television network, 32 seasons, 706 episodes. Of course, I'm talking about The Simpsons.
Okay.
And Mandy, how many can you name of The Simpsons?
Principal. They have to be principal. It can't just be like somebody did an episode. That's not fair, right?
No guest stars.
So,
yeah, right.
No guest stars.
I'll say 6.
Starting with 6, Steve.
Oh, I could probably do 10.
Name that crew.
So with this, you have to go with characters because if you go with the cast, you're limited to like 3 people doing a bazillion voices.
Right.
So, I mean, because then you have to, so you, Mandy, 6, I mean, the family's got 5 in them because you've got Homer and Marge.
I was thinking of actors' names.
Oh,
Steve.
see,
I'm not
yes.
cheap.
Yeah, okay.
She's trying to be a
Can
purist.
I name the actors?
So she's going to
that
be
he doesn't
she's going
know?
to name the actors, and then she's going to be like, "Well, those five characters. That's one person. He only gets 1 point for that because you've got Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie, and then you've got Mr. Burns, and you've got Smithers, and you've got Ned Flanders, and you've got Rod and Todd Flanders, and then you've got Apu, and then you've got Comic Book Guy, and then you've got Millhouse, then you've got
Mo,
Superintendent
Mo.
Chalmers, and you've got my fafavoriteest character ever, Ralph Wiggum. I could just keep going and going.
You could. You got 15.
Yeah. No.
That was. I don't know. I don't know what the judges say to
going over
really showboating like that. But
I picked a number. I didn't want to say 20 and then fall short. So.
Yeah, no, that was obscene what we just witnessed, but I'm grateful for your participation.
Okay. Now Mandy's going to one-up me by saying, okay, here are the people that voice all of those characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Pretty much. You got, the biggest surprise in the Simpsons experience for me is that out of how many did I say? 731 episodes. 731 episodes. Hank Azaria has only been in 720 of them. What happened in those other 11 episodes where Hank Azaria was locked out?
Don't know.
The next one that we are talking about is another one of my all-time favorites. It introduced me to primetime alcohol. I'm talking about Cheers, 1982. Cheers ran on NBC from 1982 to 1993, 271 glorious episodes. Cheers. Where would you like to start the bidding, Steve?
I will start the bidding at 7.
7 for Cheers.
I'll say 8.
8? Steve, can you best 8?
I will say name that crew.
Okay. Sam Malone, played by Ted Danson.
Look at her just double down on everything.
Diane Chambers, played by Shelley Long. Carla Tortelli, played by Rhea Perlman.
Mm-hmm.
Norm, George Wendt. Cliff, John Ratzenberger. Woody Harrelson. Coach, and I can't remember his name. Rebecca Howe, played by Kirstie Alley. Her snooty British boyfriend, played by Roger Rees.
Oh.
Nick Tortelli, played by Dan Hedaya. Right?
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah.
That's great.
Frasier.
Yeah, there you go.
Frasier Crane.
Yeah.
There you go.
By Kelsey Grammer.
Yep.
That's right. There's 11.
All right.
Outstanding boss round.
Wow.
And that name is Nicholas Colasanto as coach, which was, remember when he passed. Outstanding round for Cheers. The big question is, where do you stand on the follow-up? That's right. The Cheers spinoff takes us straight into Seattle with Frasier. A little bit smaller cast on Frasier. Frasier ran from 19...
Googling.
I'm checking my list. Is Frasier on there for more than... I shouldn't doubt.
264
really?
episodes.
Because I
it ran from
scrolled...
1993 to 2004. So that's a solid 11 year.
All right. Because I looked at a list and I was skimming through looking for trends, patterns, and I did not remember Frasier being on there because I have not watched Frasier. Oh. I know the cast, though. I don't know character names, but I know who's on the show.
Outstanding.
A bit,
well,
because
this will
it is
be
a small,
a
because it
real
is a
run.
small cast.
Yes, it's a small cast. All right. So, Mandy, you won the last round. How would you like to bid?
I will say. I mean, I know my Frasier.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
So this is a handicap. Is that what
She's just going to just dunk this in
I mean,
her
I could
face.
say I could do 10.
10.
Yeah.
There's not 10 characters on that
Wow.
show. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, I would be going.
Yeah.
I would be.
Yeah.
All right.
Go.
Name
10.
that crew.
Go ahead.
Am I doing it?
You got to name those 10.
Okay, so Frasier, Niles, Daphne, Eddie the dog, Martin Crane, my favorite personal character, Bulldog, played by Dan Butler.
Dan Butler, right?
Roz, he's Kenny, the station manager. My husband loves Kenny for some reason. And Lilith appears many, many times, and Frederick, his son, appears many times. And I did it, right?
Yes, you
That's
did.
10.
Wow.
That was aces. That was aces. I don't know what I expected, but hitting 10. I noticed you didn't do any actors' names on that one.
I feel like it slows the process, but I could.
No, it's okay. I just want to know it was noticed that you're
okay.
For the benefit of us, maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I noticed.
Right.
Okay. That was it. Let's see. Steve, I'm hoping this one gives you a chance to come back a little bit.
We'll see. All right.
The show ran from 1993 to 2002 on the Fox television network with 202 episodes.
Okay.
I'm talking, of course, about The X-Files.
-8.
Everyone you get right, Steve, Mandy forgets an entire show.
That's fine. No, actually, it's in the genes of the family, because my oldest in college made sure to take her I Want to Believe poster with her, and was scouring the used bookstores for those X-Files episode guides that came out. Oh, yes.
So can I say name that crew?
Yes. Okay.
Sure. You can't do one.
I could do 2.
She could do 2.
Okay.
And I could do...
Okay, so 2. Steve?
This one's challenging because there's some that I'm going to have trouble with names, because they don't always have names. They have titles,
Right. Which is also okay.
How many points down am I? 30?
It's 30 to 15 right now. Can you name 15?
No, but I could probably get to 9. I'm going to go with 9.
Steve.
Wow. Okay.
All
right.
Because you've got
my counting fingers ready.
Okay. We've got Mulder and we've got Scully, and then you've got cigarette smoking man, and then you've got rat boy. Oh, he's the FBI snitch guy. Krychek. Got Krychek in there. You have Skinner. Okay, I got Skinner. Okay. And then I've got, so this is one of my challenges. Does it count? Because I think only one of them is ever given no? Okay. You got Byers, Frohickey, and the third guy in The Lone Gunman. I can't remember his name, the bald guy, or not the blonde guy. I know there's Byers, Frohickey, and, because I would say Lone Gunman to give me the 3 points, but I don't know that he has a name, and it's probably there in there. But now, do recurring characters count that are only in a couple episodes? Because we've got some story arcs, and I'm trying to think of who those characters are. What am I at? I'm at 7. I need 2 more on the X-Files.
I feel like we could walk away and live our lives and come back, and he would still be talking it out.
Oh, I probably would.
I was wondering who he was arguing with a minute ago, but it's okay. We're doing fine.
Talking it out.
We're doing fine.
Okay, so then you have Special Agent Spender, who's actually Cigarette Smoking Man's son. It's in the later seasons. And then we have, then I could switch over to actors, because we have, I believe Mimi Rogers comes in the later seasons as an FBI agent, and so does the guy from Terminator 2, and I can't think of his name because I'm blanking.
Hey, that's a nice spike.
Robert Patrick.
Yes, Robert
there we
Patrick.
go.
Thank you. And I'm trying to think if there's another. Oh, see, I can't remember
But he said 9.
Yeah.
He said 9. Now he's showboating.
No, because you gave me that 9th one mostly. So, okay. No, we're
All
good.
right.
I was trying to
Well
do it on
done.
my own. Okay.
Well done. That was
Smoke
an
is coming out of
outstanding
his
show.
headphones.
It is
I know,
because
he
I haven't
looks
thought about that. I
great.
could talk about episodes. I could talk about, different, monsters on the show and all that stuff.
I think that was fantastic. Let's do. I've got.
Deep Throat.
I've got
There's
3
a character
more.
called Deep Throat, and
There we go.
and Mr.
Deep
X.
Throat,
There
of
we
course.
go. Okay, done.
Okay. All right. It doesn't count after we've stopped recording, Steve. So, okay. Let's do this one. This one's going to be rough, I think. It is a show that we're in the middle of rewatching right now. It absolutely holds up over the years. It did run, of course, from 1994 to 2004 with 236 episodes. I'm talking about Friends. And for this one, I don't care about principal cast.
You want all the guests?
Mhm.
You can guess however many you
Oh,
absolutely,
my gosh.
however many you want. And I'm going to do my best to keep up because I have a feeling that this will be more of a collaborative. And I'm
Yeah,
okay.
can we
with
go
that.
back and forth?
Sure.
Yeah, we can go back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go.
Ladies first.
I will say Kathleen Turner as Chandler's dad.
Okay. It's funny. I was just flipping
So
through and came across an episode, and I totally forgot that Reese Witherspoon was on as Rachel's sister.
Christina Applegate was on as her other sister.
That's right. And Brad Pitt was on as ex-boyfriend or no, schoolmate.
Will from high school.
Will from
Will from high school.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Morgan Fairchild as Chandler's mom.
Paul Rudd as one of Phoebe's boyfriends.
Thomas Lennon as Joey's hand twin.
Yes. Michael Rappaport as another one of Phoebe's friends and a cop whose name I can't remember. Yes.
Mhm.
Gary.
Gary. Wow. Okay.
Tom Selleck as Richard.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Elle McPherson as the roommate.
Janine. Michael Vartan as Richard's handsome son.
Oh, yes.
Also an eye doctor.
I noticed neither of you're going with only deep cuts to demonstrate your prowess.
Those are
I
the
guess.
first that are coming to mind because I'm like,
Yeah.
what else? What?
Maggie Wheeler as Janice.
I know there's a lot more, but it has been probably 10 years since I've watched Friends.
You're about to see something real
yeah,
special.
go ahead. Go ahead. Let her rip because I haven't seen an episode. I haven't watched it in at least 8 years, if that. So go.
Okay, I
go
can't
forth.
remember this actress's name, but she's got big bug eyes and she's very skinny. And she played Ross's college girlfriend. Like he was a professor and she was Elizabeth, the college girlfriend. And Bruce Willis was her dad, Paul.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Christina Pickles and Elliot Gould as Monica and Ross's parents.
Okay.
Marlo Thomas as Rachel's mom. I don't remember the actor who
Oh,
played
yeah.
Rachel's dad. Adam Goldberg as Crazy Eddie, the roommate.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now they're coming back.
Earlier seasons. There's Trieger. There's Mr. Henkel. Rachel's boss, Joanna, that Chandler went on a date with, but she had gunk in her eyes. And then there was Rachel's boss, played by Joanna Gleason, who didn't give Rachel any attention. So Rachel took up smoking to go outside with her. And then there was the guy, Mark, who came in between Rachel and Ross in the beginning. And then there was the copy shop girl. And then there was
Okay,
Paget
but
Brewster.
now you're just
as-
naming characters. How about now I got one. Terry Garr is Phoebe's mom. There we go.
There you go.
There we
Characters
go.
with names. Because
Okay.
Paget Brewster as
Yes.
Kathy, who
Okay.
came between
yes.
Chandler and
Yes.
Joey.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
Danny DeVito as the stripper.
Outstanding.
Oh, John Lovitz as the food critic when Monica's starting her restaurant.
And then again as a bad date for Rachel.
John Favreau as Monica's boyfriend
Yes.
the billionaire that gets into mixed martial arts fighting.
Pete
That's
Becker.
right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Outstanding.
What, we're missing a main one?
Giovanni Ribisi, y'all.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Frank
And Deborah Jo
Buffet Jr. and Deborah Jo Rupp. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
And Marcel
you
the
don't-
monkey.
You don't get those
Yes.
points.
All right.
And Marcel the
that's
monkey.
right.
Okay. All right. So that was a chance for Mandy to remember Friends.
Yes.
That was fun.
If you
that
ever
was
need
fun.
me, I'll be there for you.
Noted. And nobody named the principal cast. That was
Well, you
crazy
said
to
not
me.
to.
I'm not.
You said not.
No, I said you can't include the
Oh,
non-principal
I thought you
cast.
said not
I thought
to.
you said not to.
Oh,
Because
no.
that's easy. Yeah.
Who needs that?
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Here we go. That was the game. Name That Crew. And happy 200 episodes to all of these fantastic shows now that they're all canceled. Housekeeping. I say that every single time on the next reel, and I think Andy cuts it every single time, but I'm editing this show, so I say with abandon, ladies and gentlemen, housekeeping. The next reel just kicked off its 10th anniversary season. It's going to be a fun year. Actually, it already is a fun year. We're in the middle of a fun year, looking at women-directed films over the course of 10 unique series. We're still rocking our horror debut series. It is really fun. You gotta watch The Lure and then come hear us talk about it. You need your mermaid horror Polish musicals. You need them in your life. And this is where to start. And so if you want to vote on next week's list challenge, head over to the Show Talk channel in the Discord community right there, and you can cast your vote. If you're not a member yet, but you want to become one, you can do that at thenextreel.com/membership. Most it'll cost you is $5 a month. Members get access to live streams as we record, early access to shows in your very personal, bespoke podcast feed just for you. Access to all of our super secret member channels in Discord. Bonus episodes, so many bonus episodes. My God, with the bonus episodes, there are a lot of them. And you know what? We've got stickers. Occasionally I throw them in the mail and I just send them to you. That's that kind of a thing. We also have this Letterboxd page. You should be on Letterboxd if you're going to truck with the next reel. You should go over and set up your Letterboxd account. And if you love it, you can get a discount because the people of Letterboxd have set us up with a code. It says next reel, just the words next reel. I don't know why they left off the, but they did. And it's a splinter for me. I'm always thinking about it, but it's just next reel. When you check out, it saves you 20% when you upgrade to a pro or patron account. They're great people doing great work, creating a social media site for us, movie lovers. You should be there. We're just wrapping up our annual questionnaire. If you haven't gotten your answer in to the questionnaire, you should do it. Head over to the next reel, and on all the pages is a button that says, hey, complete our annual questionnaire. And when you do that, you're helping us learn more about what you love to do, about listening to podcasts. You might like bike rides in a sunset. I don't care as much about that. I just want to know about your relationship with podcasts and how you feel about the show and help us shape it to make it better. TrueStory.fm/satmat. And you can see the big questionnaire button. Fill it out. One lucky listener who fills out the questionnaire will get to pick one of our upcoming member bonus episodes. It's a massive perk. It'll raise all the little hairs on the back of your neck. That's the kind of perk that it is. And now, the list. After last week.
Yeah, thanks for letting me redeem myself. Yes, I was like, I killed the animals, now I get to save the animals.
That's right. So we're talking about Save the Cat. This is from Anna Lily Amanpour's movie, A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. Do you know this movie, you guys?
I've heard of it, and it's always been on my list of things to see. So I've not seen it yet.
It's a beautiful one and stark. And we're talking about the Save the Cat moment. Now, Save the Cat, we've talked about Save the Cat. We've talked about it. Do you have a good sense of where Save the Cat comes from?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Who can educate our fair listeners on Save the Cat?
Steve.
Blake Snyder's book to give you the template to write the perfect screenplay.
He sure did. Very controversial book because it became real popular. And then all the movies were perfect screenplays, he says in heavy air quotes. And so, when you hear people say, hey, all these movies are exactly the same, that is the reason why, because they're usually all built on the 15 beats from Blake's Save the Cat book. Now, Blake passed away in 2004, I think. And so, we don't complain too much about that. But it is definitely a thing in Hollywood to Save the Cat. And there have been a number of tropes that have jumped off of Save the Cat. The action that happens where the protagonist does a thing that reminds the audience, hey, you need to care about that guy, right? Or that girl. You need to care about them. They're doing good stuff. They're saving a cat. And so that's what we're talking about tonight. Save the Cat moments in film. And that means, Steve, you get to go first.
Yes. So I was looking at literally saving the cat. I was looking at metaphorically saving the cat. And for me, when I think of Save the Cat, I often think of this device is used when you've got a character that's morally in a gray area. So you've got somebody that you would think, this isn't a good person. But when you have that Save the Cat moment, you say, oh, there's something good about this person. So now I'm willing to follow this horrible criminal along with his story because I know, oh, he's good at heart. He did something. So I looked into this and I was racking my brain. And I thought, you know what? No, this is easy as ABC. This is easy as ABC. Because first, when you're part of a team, it's important to make sure that no one gets left behind. A good leader goes back no matter how dangerous the situation. And even though this moment is actually near the end of the film, saving Jonesy shows us what kind of person Ripley is in 1979's Alien. Literally saving Jonesy the cat.
And it's a steal. The literal saving the cat.
Literal saving.
Luckily, I have 2 of those on my list.
Okay.
La-di-da.
Well done, Steve. All right. That means I get to go next. All right. Well, it is not as good a moment as Alien, and it's entirely purposeless. Literally saving the cat in 1978, Superman flies out of the sky and saves a cat from a tree for a little girl. Because we needed more reasons to root for Superman as a good guy.
Morally ambiguous Superman.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I think that was from, I don't know if that was in the original theatrical release. I think it might have been from just the TV, the 3-hour TV cut
it could be.
of that. But it is still a nonsense addition to a Superman movie. Mandy, what do you got?
We know my brain works differently, so I did not go literal.
Okay.
And the
good.
first thing that popped into my mind was like in these teen movies in the 80s and 90s, sometimes these teens weren't, they were a little selfish or a little bratty or very self-involved. And then sometimes they gave their underwear to a guy who needed it so that he could feel validated and popular. I, of course, am talking about 16 Candles.
Yes, you are.
Because that took her out of her own, BS.
Yes.
Is that a Save the Cat moment
No,
she thought of somebody else? And
Sure.
Oh, I think that's definitely one because it definitely puts her in a different light because it's...
Right.
She
does
stops
Farmer
being
Ted
selfish.
Solid.
Yeah, she's doing Ted Solid. She stopped being selfish there. Excellent.
Okay, so I'm winning so far. Okay.
Sure.
Outstanding. Steve.
So sometimes a colleague at work can be really hard to get along with and to work with. And sometimes we feel like we're saddled with like this horrible problem. But when the rest of the department starts bad-mouthing your partner, making threats, you can choose to do one of 2 things. You can stay silent, complicit, let that go on. Or you can speak up and defend your partner by calling everyone out and standing up for the cat. I mean, the outcast. I mean, the orc. In 2017's Bright, when you are Will Smith as a policeman with your orcish partner.
I never watched that.
You never watched that movie? I know Mandy's
No.
I
never
don't
seen
even know some of the words you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It keeps coming up. It's one of those where Netflix is feeling really obstinate about the fact that I have not watched that movie.
I think you may be one of the few people that will like it as much as I do because a lot of people are like, it's not good. I really
I
enjoyed
know you're talking to Pete and not me, right?
Because as soon as I said orc, it was just like, boop. There you go. Yep. One of the...
I switched to a screensaver of me. Yeah.
Well, my next film, this one, I think it was one of those movies that it's a comedy movie. I'm sure it was made in large part both as a sort of self-referential joke. It is definitely a play on other movies, vengeance action movies, as a trope. This one is 100% dedicated to literally saving the cat. I'm talking about Key and Peele's film, Keanu, which is vastly better than you think it is. I laughed so hard in this movie and because of all of the turns. That cat is fantastic actor, Keanu.
Adding it to my Letterboxd watch list now because I remember it, and it's one of these things on Satman where I'll be like, I need to remember to watch that, and so I'm going to put it on my.
It was a trailer pick, and it is a worthy one for just that kind of mood. And both of those guys, I think both of those guys are incredibly funny actors. And it is a movie that deals with race and code switching and all kinds of much bigger issues than you would think about in a movie like this. It's essentially the credits to the other guys.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Mandy, what do you got number 2?
Sometimes people think if I were to pick up a hooker and bang her, that I'm not the nicest guy. But then if I offer to pay her a lot more for her time and I buy her all new clothes and I take her to fancy dinners, that's really nice. And I have saved the cat and I won't make P-word jokes. I'm talking about Pretty Woman.
Of course you are.
Of course.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is there what is the defining moment where we realize that he is actually a better guy than you think? Is it when he pays the prostitute?
Well, I think I mean, it's later in the movie when he attacks Jason Alexander for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so.
And then I also like Hector Elizondo turns out to be so darling in that movie, but I know he's not the lead and it had to be like the protagonist of the movie, right? Not just like a nice guy.
That's the idea, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's my answer.
Awesome.
Have you watched the Netflix series, The Movies That Made Us, their episode about Pretty Woman?
No.
Check it out. It's really, really interesting to see how that movie came to be at what it was. They talk about the R rating. They talk about Gary Marshall and his whole approach to shooting because Jason Alexander's like, there's no way this is going to be good. This is a horrible nightmare. This is a disaster. It's very, very intriguing to see the behind the scenes story of how that came together. Highly recommend.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
So, sure, you run a shady business and you operate sort of maybe a little bit outside the law and you may bribe officials occasionally and you perhaps take money under the table, but beneath that coarse cigarette smoking exterior is a soft heart. And how do I know? Because I saw you. I saw you tell that young man to place a bet on 22. And when he won, told him, keep it there. I saw you give that knowing look to the man at your roulette table. And after that, that young man had enough money to get tickets to get him and his girlfriend out of Casablanca.
Curse you, Steve.
Another steal?
Yes. Oh, God. Steve and I have seen all the same damn movies.
That's where it starts.
I gotta
Everything
say,
goes back to
I want
Casablanca.
Steve to narrate my life. I just it thoroughly enjoyed the drama and the voice quality.
Thank
That
you.
was wonderful.
My next one, I have no fancy intro, but it is a show tie-in. The show tie-in is to the Marvel Movie Minute.
Oh, okay.
This season 4. If you haven't heard, our friends Matthew and Andy are covering Thor, and in Thor we have a variant of a save the cat moment. That is what has come to be known as the pet the dog moment. Are you familiar with petting the dog?
It sounds like a euphemism.
A little bit. This is the moment where you give the antagonist something that, or an antagonist or a complex character, something to do that gives you, the audience, a sliver of hope for this character. That they're complicated, but they might be redeemable.
Okay.
And in this scene in the movie Thor, Loki, who has heretofore been a complicated character, right? He goes and he lets Loki, the frost giant evildoer father of his, into Asgard to kill Odin while he is comatose. But Loki then kills Laufey before he can kill Odin, his adopted father. And then is embraced by his mother, and he attempts to get away from Thor. Thor sees them. It is a complicated moment that gives a bit of redemption to Loki very early in his Marvel Cinematic Universe play. And I think it ties directly to the love that people have or that fans have for Loki all the way to the recent show. It is just a really well-written, dramatic, super Shakespearean moment that I'm going to insert as a pet the dog version of Save the Cat. There you go.
Okay.
Thor. Who knew?
Not me.
Mandy, your play on The Dark World? Go ahead.
Well, this one was just very convenient because I was watching a movie with Casey, my son.
Mm-hmm.
He had never seen it. And I know this ain't a steal and you guys are going to be like, what? But picture an orphanage. Hundreds of little boys lining up for their gruel. One little boy has the nerve to go up to the awful, evil orphanage guy, Mr. Bumble, and say, "Please, sir, can I have some more?" And he does this because Oliver is a brave, innocent, kind soul in Oliver, the musical of Oliver Twist.
And did Casey look up at you and say, Mum, is that a save the cat moment?
He did, yes.
He did?
Yeah, He actually, guys, he really, really liked it. I thought it might be a little too slow.
Yeah.
I forgot how many bangers are in Oliver.
Yes.
Papa, it's a fine life. Like, it's full of fun,
With a
upbeat
bullet.
songs.
Mhm.
Yeah, consider yourself. He was into it. Good
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
And that is a list of our sometimes literal, sometimes more on the nose for the concept films that involve saving cats and Save the Cat.
I think we did.
I think we did a fair job
Well
here.
done.
A fair job. I would see almost all of these movies. No, I would see all of these movies.
Okay.
On reflection, I would see all of these movies.
I'm glad you gave it some thought.
Yes.
Yeah, I had to really take a step back. We are talking next week about the Babadook. Where do you stand on the Babadook? Steve, you love the Babadook.
I have not seen the Babadook.
You love it.
No, I've not.
No, Mandy, big fan. You and Casey watch
I
the Babadook?
thought you were just having a stroke.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know what Babadook is.
All right. Both of you have to go watch the Babadook. It is a movie. It's a horror movie, and it wears its metaphor heavily around its neck. Heavily. It is a much more fun movie to talk about after you've seen it than I think it is even to watch it. Although it's quite a good movie. I like it. I don't like it as much as, a lot of people, but it was good. Anyway, we are talking about that next week. Members voted already on the show options in there, and they chose... This just seems really mean after you've seen the movie, what they chose. Incredibly annoying or very needy kids. Why would you pick that?
I don't know.
You know who picked that? Not parents.
No.
Right. Or parents.
Well,
Let's
maybe
be honest.
parents.
Some days.
Maybe parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Incredibly annoying or very needy kids. Fortunately, the field is vast. I think, for annoying kids in movies, thankfully. Good luck, team. Next week, who's going to be doing it next week? We've got Rob is hosting with Kyle Olson and Mandy Fabian.
Ooh.
At least we keep a run of Mandy's on the show every week. That's going to be the important part, I think.
That is contractually obligated now.
That's right.
Yep.
Right now, the next poll is live. It's for The Lure, directed by Agnieszka Simoshnika from 2015. The 50 film. 50? The 50. No, it's the 5th film. Somebody fostered my script. It is the 5th film in the Next Reel's horror debut series. If you want to vote, head over to the Show Talk channel in your Discord server. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Mandy, always, always, always a pleasure.
Back at ya.
Oh, Steve, you were here too.
Wow. Oh. I see. There it is. He
All
just
of this
failed.
stays in. Steve just hung up on
Wow.
Zoom because of things, but that's okay. We love him anyway. All right. Well, then I guess again, Mandy, bye. I'll see you later.
Bye, Pete.
And I'll say on
you.
behalf of Steve,
Bye, Steve.
Hondo.